basic root of my thinking is you kill the quarterback. You kill the head of a snake and the body will die.
The second most prized position in the NFL is without a doubt the edge pass rusher. An edge rusher can short-circuit a modern offense like nothing else. Not only can he easily sack the quarterback, but he can shorten a quarterback's mental timer and effectively shorten the field. In today's NFL, an elite pass rushing talent is considered a staple of every dominant defense. Buffalo had the number one defense in both points and yards allowed per game. However, they didn't have a single edge rusher with 8 or more sacks. Under head coach Sean McDermott and defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier, the Bills have deployed a heavy rotation along the defensive line. Last year, that rotation was its heaviest it's been throughout their tenure, as no edge rusher played more than 52% of the team's defensive snaps. Part of the reason for that was strategic, but the other part was the sheer number of roster-worthy players the Bills had along the edge. In the last 10 NFL drafts, 6 quarterbacks have been taken number 1 overall. But 3 times, defensive ends and edge rushers have gone first overall. The NFL values elite edge rushers. Getting to the quarterback has never been more important in the NFL. With most teams adopting a pass-first philosophy and the influx of talented young quarterbacks, players who can rush the passer are extremely valuable. Finding players who can disrupt quarterbacks both up the middle and off the edge are indispensable around the league, and recent Super Bowl winners will back up that notion. During Sean McDermott's time as the Bills head coach, his approach along the defensive line has been the whole is greater than the sum of its parts mentality. Instead, Buffalo approached the pass rush with a committee attack, using a stable of players up front to stay fresh while generating consistent pressure. Essentially, reinventing what it means to have a successful pass rush. 8 different players posted 3 or more sacks, as Buffalo made sure everybody got to the quarterback. A rotation, therefore, negates the need for a star player along the front. That approach isn't working, though. If there's a weakness in Buffalo's defense, it's the lack of a consistent and effective pass rush generated by the front 4. Buffalo's sack numbers were good on the surface last year, and they notched 42 overall. That total was tied for 11th in the league. However, Buffalo had 14 sacks in their final 2 games. 5 against Matt Ryan in the Atlanta Falcons, who allowed 40 sacks on the year, and 9 against the New York Jets, who allowed 53. They also had 6 sacks in Week 2 against the Miami Dolphins. That's almost half their season total over 3 games, meaning the pass rush generated just 22 sacks over the other 14 games. They had 5 sacks in their 2 playoff games, and the pass rush showed potential, but they were anything but consistent throughout the season. 2021 was a transition year for the Bills' defensive line. With 3 veterans and 3 high draft picks on the edge, the group was one that had plenty of youth and plenty of experience. Well, the 3 veterans all left in free agency this year, and some question whether those 3 young players have shown enough to be reliable moving forward. Greg Rousseau is going to develop into an excellent player in the next couple seasons. I also believe that Boogie Basham is going to be an impactful rusher in 2022. Epinesa appears to be nothing more than a rotational piece. A solid chess piece is valuable, but Epinesa hasn't shown that he can be the guy that other teams need to stop in order to win. The Cincinnati Bengals weren't a better team than the Buffalo Bills last season. Trey Hendrickson, though, he's a better player than everyone on Buffalo's defensive line. One player can make that much of a difference. Buffalo's championship window is open now, and they need to do everything in their power to make sure they capitalize on it. Adding a top-end rusher via free agency became a priority in the offseason in order to win the AFC and advance to a Super Bowl. And they think they got their guy. With everything that happened over the offseason, it's easy to overlook that the Bills made one of the biggest splashes in free agency. The defending AFC champs signed 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and 2-time Super Bowl winner Von Miller to a 6-year, $120 million deal with $51.4 million guaranteed. Even at 33, Von Miller is one of the premier pass rushers in the NFL. Joining a top-ranked defense without high-end pass rushers is a smart move for Miller. The second reason Miller liked the Bills is even smarter. Now, Miller's been around the NFL block long enough to understand what most longtime fans already know. 99% of pro football teams are only as good as their starting quarterback, and the Bills have Josh Allen. Since the Bills drafted Allen number 7th overall in the 2018 NFL Draft, the former Wyoming Cowboy went from a raw, athletic, big-armed prospect to possibly the most all-around dangerous signal caller in the NFL. In 2021, Allen was nothing short of spectacular. Allen finished 8th in the league in passing yards, 7th in touchdown passes. His postseason numbers alone against the Patriots and the Chiefs this year were insane. 9 touchdowns, no turnovers, 771 total yards, and 14 incompletions total. Seems like a good time for a Josh Allen highlight reel. As the league continues to predominantly be a passing league, players who generate pressure will continue to be valued and paid more per year. The conventional wisdom that disrupting the quarterback will lead to wins will continue to be true, and the numbers don't lie. Teams who find a way to get to the quarterback, whether it be through sacks, quarterback hits, or pressures, will be the teams who have success and find their way to the postseason. With future Hall of Fame edge rusher Von Miller at it, Buffalo wouldn't surprise anybody by ditching their heavy rotation defensive line strategy. Miller is aware of and content with the rotation philosophy in Buffalo, but still hopes to be an impact player on the edge. Miller said, "I'm all for rotation and all that stuff, but when it's crunch time, I gotta be in the game." Is the edge pass rusher the second most important position in the NFL? Personally, I don't know. I'd like to think that the guy whose job it is to protect the number one position in the league would be the second most important, but that's up for debate. I would love to hear what you guys think. I hope you like the video. If you want to leave a like, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Later.